Genshin Impact, a game that I've heard so much about and that a lot of people have been playing lately. And with the first anniversary almost upon us, I think it's time that I start diving into the game and exploring it for all the wonders and beauty that it has to it. I was hesitant to play this game because I did want to move away from the gacha format, but this game has a lot more to offer than just your regular gacha game, and it's going to be so much fun. So here's my first ever journey into Genshin Impact. Now, to get reacquainted with the game format and to kind of dive into the world as a whole, I do need to explore it and work on my game knowledge that I don't have much of. But just exploring how beautiful this world looks was a lot of fun. It's such an amazing open world, and the mechanics of it are so much fun too. As much as I want to explore it and jump into all the more difficult trials ahead of me, I am still a new player, so I'm starting off small. Now, for a lot of people, I know exploring can be rather boring, and if I didn't give myself a certain goal, I knew that a lot of you guys would enjoy it. One of the most important things, of course, like I said, are the Oculus, and in this video, I'm getting a lot of the G Oculus, actually all of them. It actually puts you well on your way to getting your very first 5-star artifact, which is very important for this game. It was really fun exploring all of Liyue as well. This is why I picked the G Oculus in particular, because I love this region of the game more than any of the others. The Chinese style and theme to it definitely hits hard for me, and even the music choice. One of my favorite game series is Assassin's Creed, and I definitely was getting those vibes here when I was playing Genshin, because there's a lot of areas that you have to scale up to, and that's why I think collecting all these collectibles was really fun for me. Although it could be boring for some other people, I was used to it in that franchise, and it was just so much fun mixing it with my characters and their different abilities, especially starting off early as I was. And a lot of the locations that they picked for these were pretty well hidden and pretty nice, like here in this little cave. Mixed together with the beauty of Liyue, it was just so much fun looking for each and every one of them, all 130. Now, also the combat in this game is something I really enjoy, and while I was searching for some of the G Oculus, I did definitely have to get my hands dirty a little bit. And starting off, it's pretty fun, honestly. As a person who's always struggled on mouse and keyboard in particular, I found it really fun and kind of easy to get into the mechanics and learn it in a good way. It's definitely acquainting me with how the combat system works as a whole and what the strengths and weaknesses of my team are. Now, like I said, some of these G Oculus in particular were in some amazing locations, and it also led me to getting a lot of resources and materials that I otherwise wouldn't have known were even there, like the ores in this cave, and it just made exploring the whole region so much better. Now, one thing that I didn't like was that because I was in a Geo region for the most part, I think that a lot of us can agree having to go back to the other region and switch over to a Nemo was very frustrating to have to use it and then come back. I do think that if we're in a Geo region, we should have had to only rely on that, so it was a little frustrating, but you know, it is what it is. Another great thing about doing this early on is that I was going ahead and filling out most of my map, which is going to be very good for quests and things of that nature later on. So it just made it simpler for me. And again, it was helping me with leveling up, because getting your adventure rank up is definitely very important. At the time of most of these Oculuses, I was in my 20s to late 20s, and by the end of it, I think I was adventure rank 29. So I've definitely moved up a lot, and it only took me about a week to get from that point of starting off to this. Now again, like I said, I got a lot of flashbacks to Assassin's Creed games when it came to looking for all these collectibles, and here in particular, it reminded me of my favorite one from the series, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, where you're mostly out in the Caribbean and you're on a lot of ships. I really liked this G Oculus in particular, which was one of the final ones I had to collect, where you're literally on top of a ship. It just gave me some very, very good reminiscent vibes of that game, and I think it made me keep going and wanting to find each and every one of them. After collecting all of the G Oculuses, I went ahead and put them into the Statue of the Sevens in Liyue, and that went ahead and gave me all the stones that I need to finish the quest which we are going after. Remember, I said that this did all have a point to it, and for this, you do end up doing a quest where you have to unlock 9 different pillars, and it'll open that door which leads to a room where you can get a new artifact, a 5-star artifact at that. This is why I definitely wanted to do this first, because getting a 5-star artifact early on is going to be near impossible, but this is a guaranteed one for everybody. So once I collected all the Geoculus, threw them into the towers, all I had to do was go to these pillars and I could go ahead and activate them, and it would slowly but surely activate the door, which was really cool. It was nice seeing that I could have all the Geoculus at once turned into these stones, and it just made it so much fun going ahead and getting it, because it felt so rewarding throwing all these in and then eventually unlocking the door. Once it was finally open, I did go ahead and get myself inside. Now at this point my world level was at 2, so it was probably going to be a little bit more difficult than it would have been prior, but I still found myself not struggling too hard once I entered the ruins, so I was definitely prepared for this. Even though I was a little hesitant as well, I was prepared. So I brought with me a delicious Adeptus Temptation stew, which is really good because I could go ahead and use this to have my attack and crit rate upped. And this definitely made it easy when fighting these enemies because I was doing so much more damage to them. And starting off first, I did have to fight the temple guard, but that wasn't too much of a big deal. Official definitely helped here, and also mixing it with Xiangling's fire, it definitely did not take too long. I love using Noelle too for my healer, even though I have Barbara. I love using her because I like attacking while also healing at the same time, but the Ruin Guard didn't really give me too much trouble at all, if I'm being honest with you. At this point, I'd already fought a couple of these, and you guys even saw me fight the Ruin Hunter earlier on in the video, but this Ruin Guard wasn't too much of a difficulty for me. I was able to take him out, and then after that, move on to the next wave. After him, I did have to fight the Geo monsters, which was a lot of fun. I feel like Geo is probably what I'm weakest to at this point in time, but destroying all of the crystals made it easy to go ahead and fight them. And I like how open this arena was. One of my favorite things about Genshin is that the combat system is fun, but you have a lot of space to move around. Coming from other gacha games where that's not something that I'm too used to, it just made it so much fun during each and every fight that I had, and I felt like I had all the space I could to move around or use whatever tactic I wanted to, whether I was in close or if I was far away as well. And after that, the Ruin Hunter appeared, and he wasn't too bad, honestly. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, even at world level 2. And after him, I knew that I was going to be able to claim my prize, so fighting him was pretty fun. And yeah, I don't think I even ended up losing anybody, which was pretty good. The door was finally open, and I finally came to the end of my quest. This was a lot of fun, honestly, because not only was I getting a grasp of the world as a whole, but I had this amazing reward to look forward to at the end of everything. And although I'm not at a high enough adventure rank to really go and work on the rest of this set, the Royal Flora is, again, one of the best sets in the game, the Noblesse Oblige. I think I'm saying that correctly, and it was a lot of fun getting it, and it's definitely going to help me out. Even though I didn't get the best substats for it as of right now, it's definitely going to help me out until I get those better sets and rise up through the ranks to be able to unlock them as well. But yeah, it was so much fun, and I can't wait to make more Genshin content for you guys. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to get into this for quite a while, so hopefully this will satisfy you for right now. Hopefully I'll have a Wish summon coming out soon also. As I said, first anniversary is pretty much upon us, so what a better time than to jump into this game. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.